microphone check. A 1 2, a 1 2, a 1 2. Yeah. I think we ready. Turn me up in the headphones like them rappers say.
1 2 1 2.
Yes, indeed.
Oh yeah.
Are we on? Is this thing recording? I think it is.
What's up, everybody?
TrueSchool.com. You already know what it is. The True School podcast on Fridays. You know the vibes. Check out TrueSchool.com for all your Bay Area events. TrueSchoolTV.com for all your hip-hop video content, whether it's music videos, live interviews, podcasts. What you want, we got it. TrueSchoolTV.com. Tell a friend to bring a friend. You know the vibes. We in here. Ren the Vinyl Archaeologist.
And Unlearn the World.
Unlearn the World. Yours truly. We got Dreamville Steph in the building, manning or personing the controls. I got to be hyper woke and politically correct. I got Steffing the controls. We're just going to make it specific to you. You're Steffing the controls.
So we've taken a little break.
We did. We took a hiatus. You know what I mean? Is that what they call it?
What you been up to?
Everything, bro. Like everything. I'm not as blessed and highly favored to be in Hawaii surfing on turtles. You know what I mean? But is it illegal? I don't know if it's illegal. No. I just been grinding in the name of hip hop, man. Just hip hop education work, a lot of hip hop education work, assemblies, workshops. Shout out to San Jose. They treated me with nothing but love. I spent the whole day there. I was just telling Steph the story about. I did a keynote address and then a workshop in the morning for this young men's conference, and then my computer died and I had a presentation to do later on that evening. So I had to drive all the way back home, get my brand new computer, bring it back down to the San Jose Public Library where we were doing a beat making and DJing workshop.
Nice.
So yeah, shout out to San Jose for that opportunity a couple of weeks ago. You know, we had the holidays and all of that, so people were overeating and enjoying family.
Oh yeah, you had a little gathering.
Little gathering, little. You know what I'm saying? Something light, like my little hookah and hip hop thing that I've been trying to do forever. You know what I'm saying? A couple of people pulled up, came through. We had some lovely assorted fruit hookah, tobacco and nicotine free, just some molasses so you could just taste it. You know what I'm saying? But it was. You know, I cooked the bird. I always cook a bird. You know what I'm saying? Get the bird going. I put that in the oven. And yeah, I've just been working on new music, man. I got a show in Sacramento. My final show of the decade, which sounds crazy, is gonna be opening up for Ghostface Killah in Sacramento. So I'm excited about that. We got Wax Tripping later on this month. We got a couple other things, but I think those are the main things. What about you? What's going on? Layover?
I'm chilling. Yeah.
Hello, stranger.
Tonight's
you know
the layover.
First Friday. Everybody blessed and highly favored in the town business, Oakland.
Yeah.
We got the new cookie store right across the street from Bandcamp.
Yeah, there's a big line
outside the door. I don't even know why.
What is going on? They're giving out free stuff.
And we're going to talk about how dope a look that is for Dope Era right next door to it. That's going to be like incredible in terms of just foot traffic.
I thought it was a line for Dope Era.
That's like Mr. Fab playing the long game. Like I'm going to just be on this storefront for 5 years until Cookies comes through and makes it a hot area. You know what I'm saying? But we got the bro with us, representing Alphabet Rockers, representing Felonious, representing
Antique Beat Soul.
Oh my God!
Antique what?
Antique Naked Soul. Part of so many collectives, so many talented collectives. Man of many talents, many wonders. You know what I mean?
He's an actor.
All the things. Grammy nominated.
Yeah.
Right?
Two-time Grammy
nominated. We in the presence of greatness.
Yep.
Let's give it up for that black excellence one time for the one time.
Mic on.
You know what I mean? My brother Tommy, a.k.a. Soul T, is he in here? Let me turn your mic up. Make sure people hear you.
1 2 1 2.
Yeah. Okay. I hope they can hear you. I don't even know which one that is, but I lit them all up.
Hey now. All right.
I lit them all up for him. Maybe that one?
Tap
Try
on
that
it.
mic.
Tap on it.
Okay.
Can you tap on it?
Tap on the microphone.
Tap on the mic.
Yeah, that's microphone too. I'm gonna bring you up a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
There
I'm
we
starting
go.
to hear myself.
Yeah, just talking to the microphone. There we go.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, we sounding all right. We good. All right, how you feeling, sir?
Oh, very good.
It's been a minute. It's been a minute since I've seen you.
Yes,
actually,
indeed.
I was just thinking about you the other day because I think the last time I saw you, we were at it was some sort of like not conference, but it was like where we were tabling. You guys were performing.
Yes.
Alphabet Rockers was performing. Hip Hop for Change was tabling right next to you guys.
Yes.
I think that was the last time I saw you, and that I got the email just again this week. So I was like, oh shit, you know what I mean? So
Right. You
So
know
we
what?
kinda
Was that
manifested
the last
it.
time, or was it that day party that we did?
it might have been. Whoa!
What day party?
Word. Was that my day? My days run around. So no, that was a Daybreaker day party that I was performing at. I used to host them, and then they brought
Was that the
Tommy-
yoga thing?
Yeah, they do
Yep.
yoga like at 5 o'clock in the morning,
Yep.
and then at 7 o'clock they turn up, and it's like 200, 300 people.
Yeah, man.
At a
It's not a
club.
joke.
At a club. Which club?
What is it?
What was
Beauty and Love and Propaganda in San Francisco.
Wow. Right
Yeah.
in downtown.
Yeah, right in downtown. So they started out at like 6 a.m. with yoga, mindful practices, all of that, and then 7 a.m. is complete turn up chaos. You know what I'm saying? It's
like a
live
club
music.
in there at
yeah,
7 a.m.
It's
It's
and it's coffee. They got like all the woke stuff, granola bars,
It was
all the
packed.
things like.
People come out.
Yo, hundreds of people. It's not a joke. Like there's
Yeah.
like at least 400 people are in there.
Dang.
You know what I'm saying? And
Okay.
I think they just did some power move. I'll look it up later. But yeah, shout out to the Daybreaker squad, man. They doing a lot of big things, doing parties all over. I had the privilege of hosting. That's actually the first place where I met the legendary late great Pam the Funkstress. She was DJing the first party that I hosted about 2016. It was about 3 years ago. But yeah, what you been up to, sir? A lot of things is going on in your life. Let me hear what's new.
Yeah, really just on this train of the path to woke,
Yep.
the path to healing.
Yeah, there we go.
Doing it in a way that is good for my family, my community, for all of us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we're almost artistic twins. The way we get down.
Explain. Tell me more.
Well, just as I grew up and learned the world,
There we go.
I understood that it all need to be unlearned.
There we go.
And then I meet this artist after all this time. Hey, what's
Uh-huh.
up, Caitlin? After all this time, and like I meet you, and your name is Unlearn the World. And I'm
Bingo.
like, wow, that's kind of dope.
Bingo.
And then I heard you perform, and we just got a lot of stuff in common.
Yeah,
Things
and a lot
we
of
talk
folks in
about.
common. My man MC Infinite.
You remember
who just put out
you
a
remember
project
when you
also.
guys met?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was at Zoo Labs.
Was it at Zoo Labs?
I think it was 100% at Zoo Labs. I
have a different story. I thought
Oh,
it was
okay.
at,
Oh, it might have been Boom Boom Room. Yeah, because yeah. So, well, the first time we like met one on one, I think we
Okay,
met
you're right.
as part of you were
We actually,
performing
yeah, we
with Antique
freestyled
Naked
together
Soul,
and
which was
stuff.
amazing. And that was dope. But then the first time, like you and me just kind of like vibed. I think we were at Zoo Labs. I was getting my album mixed with the legendary Chris Keys, who had a room there. And I think you guys were there putting together your project under your residency. You know what I mean? We could talk about that in a little bit. Yeah, but that's that was years ago. You know what I'm saying? And just to see that the growth, you as an artist, you guys as a collective, where we've come so far.
Yeah, I mean,
We've
I've
come so
known
far.
Tommy for like 20 years.
There we go.
Yeah.
It'll
You
be
know what I'm
like
saying?
Yeah.
when I first started True School, Felonious was the first band.
There we go. Yeah.
And we were just
We was the last one to hang on to.
yeah.
Last of the Mohicans out here, ever-changing city, Y'all remember Maritime Hall? Is that?
Yeah.
Maritime. Oh.
I only bring that up because I was literally just, while we speaking about beatboxes, I just met Rozelle on Sunday.
Word up.
You know what I'm saying? And it was him and Kevy Kev doing their OG talk about Maritime Hall, like back in my day, like, you know what I mean? But
You weren't here yet.
no, I was almost literally like physically on Earth. I wasn't here yet. Like
Oh.
90s, like
Where's
I'm an
Tommy?
80s
It
dude,
was
I'm
still
just-
around when
All right.
back in the late 90s.
But when was Maritime Hall like hot? When it was like popping? Like
Yeah,
you
that
had
that
to
was
be
it.
there.
99,
it.
2000.
Okay.
Yeah, man. That's where it was.
Yeah, I was just getting out of high school. I was a young
Raucous
snot-nosed kid.
era.
Yeah,
Okay,
man, when
yeah.
I
Lyricist
first- when I
Lounge.
first moved here, I think around 90, like late 97, 98 is when it was really, really
You
popular.
was selling records on Telegraph like everybody else?
trying to get into the show. I remember as soon as I got here, De La Soul was playing at Maritime, and it was like, bam, and then Rockets came, and bam, it was like, yep.
That was a good era.
So
That
when
was
I
a good
met-
era of hip hop.
When I met Topper and the crew.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. What else?
So we want to welcome Caitlin.
Caitlin,
Hello.
how are you?
Tardy to the
Yes.
party.
Happy Friday.
We're just getting started.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Happy Friday to you. How are you feeling?
Oh, I feel good.
All right. All right. Looking like you fresh off the private jet. What you got? This Tiffany's bag? Were you?
That's right.
Little shopping.
It's Little T's birthday.
Little shop. What?
Okay.
So,
Happy birthday.
What? She had to hook it up a little bit late because that's what you do when you have kids.
You know what I'm saying?
Behind.
Everything except for them.
Yes.
Except for them, because
So-
they will never forget it.
Caitlin is a new mother.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Boy or girl?
Well, the baby is born a girl, so
Okay.
we believe in gender
Gender
evolution.
fluidity?
Yeah, so
There we
let's
go.
But her name's Jasmine.
Okay, congratulations
Yeah.
on
Thank
that.
you.
That's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. You know? Yeah, sure. All right. Sagittarius season in the building. Okay.
That's right,
You know
that's
what I'm talking
right.
about?
Alphabet Rockers in
I'm
the
saying
building.
she came
I'm a
through with
Sag.
Tiffany
Yeah, her
colored
birthday was
bags.
actually more
Monday.
recent than my
Oh my
son's
God!
birthday.
There we go. All
I'm
right, there you
Sag
go.
to the end. Definition.
Yeah, I know your moon risings and all of that,
Yes,
like other woke
yes.
stuff. Okay, cool. What's
Mine's Virgo moon
okay?
and Leo rising, which is so true. I'm
Wow,
always
I have
like,
absolutely no idea what any
Oh,
of that means,
well,
but I just
yeah.
know I'm a double Scorpio, and I know that.
hey,
Oh, what the
hey.
I hate when you tell somebody your sign, they go, "Ooh, I'm
Well,
scared
you know
of
what?
you."
Scorpio sounds like a Sith, just like.
No, it's so like we're petty and we sting people. That's exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
the rumors are true. I'm not I'm not running away from that. I'm gonna die on that hill. Talk to me about Alphabet Rockers. You guys, we are kind of in the similar work, right? We were just talking about similar pathways, right? Alphabet Rockers. You guys have been around for how long? As a collective, as a
It's
group?
going on 12 years, but we will
12
say
years.
10 years for like 10 years.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
Until
I
it's like our
didn't even know
20th.
that it was
You know?
that long. Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So you guys have been providing like hip hop education, but what you do is a very unique brand of hip hop education.
For
You
sure.
are giving kids license and faculty to write their own songs or to help write
That's
songs, getting them in the studio, doing performances with the kids. You know what I'm saying? You guys do assemblies. I've seen your work for a while. I've respected it from afar. I've respected it up close.
How did it get started?
Yeah, that's what I was the origin story. I need
That's
to.
a
The
good Caitlin
origin
story.
story. Way back.
Back in the
up?
days when I was young, I'm not. Okay, yeah, go ahead. Yeah. So how did you guys get started?
I mean, it really started because I felt like hip hop was an equity tool, and the classrooms where kids are not getting seen or understood by their educators, because we're still mostly white educators, right?
Exactly.
So what happens is when you put on a song that a kid feels themselves centered in, or they sense themselves, their learning explodes in the classroom, and suddenly teachers would be like, "Oh, I never knew that this kid was so brilliant."
Exactly.
And that's like on them, right? So
Right.
then you're like, okay. But we felt like what's possible with like really blowing up hip hop in that way for the classroom, and have it be authentically hip hop and not, the rhymes are not hip hop, right?
Right.
So you can't just create a rhyme and put on some bogus beat and call that hip hop, which I think
For sure.
happens a lot in children's media, because for some reason people think young people don't know the difference, but that's like not really culturally.
we underestimate kids. They are a lot smarter than we project them to be.
Yeah, and their
They're a lot
hearts are
more
already
perceptive.
of the origins of the
You know,
universe, so they deserve all that.
Exactly. You know
Just
what I'm
like
saying?
all you did was turn your hat to the side, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, but we're introducing people who are unaware of what we
For
call
sure.
culturally responsive hip hop pedagogy.
Hey,
Right?
now,
Like the
let's go.
idea of teaching kids, meeting them where they're at with a culture and a form of expression they already identify with, and then giving them, like I was saying before, the faculty and the vocabulary to express themselves,
Yeah.
and to use that as a vehicle for them to learn other things, whether it's geography, history, whatever the case
Right.
is. You know what I'm saying? So, and you guys have been nominated for 2 Grammys. Congratulations for
Grammys.
that.
Thank you.
Flex alert. That
Bring
was
it to Oakland. Come on.
You know what I'm saying?
Ow.
I know.
Definitely place it.
Yo, Oakland be cheating when it comes to the Grammys. Like I know so many, like just
Right.
like literally matter of factly just walking through the street, just meeting people and knowing people. I know at least 3 or 4 people who've been nominated for Grammys. around
Oh,
here.
word?
Like, you know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, you got Los Racas, right? They were nominated
okay.
for Grammys. You guys have been nominated for Grammys. I mean,
Yeah.
pretty much everybody out of Zoo Labs, y'all
Yeah.
motherfuckers been nominated for Grammys.
That's beautiful.
You know what I'm saying? But like people who are being nominated or being considered for nominations, like you know what I'm saying? We have a lot of people out here on the Grammy board.
Dame Drama
So,
went
you know,
out this year.
yeah.
Went in, Kev Choice went in.
exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like there's so much talent in the Bay Area. There's so many people who are really doing the work in terms of just not only artistry and creativity, but then also bringing that back to the next generation and utilizing their platforms responsibly. And that's something that I've always appreciated about everything that is being done out here. You
So
know?
how'd you guys meet?
Me and Tommy, we met through Felonious.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because do you remember the beatboxer Rapperetta? Did you go,
Yes.
Ren, or were you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we were in the audience together probably, and mind's blown. I was
There
like,
you
who
go.
are these kids, right? Like, it
There
was
you
the
go.
best theater I'd ever seen, and I had just moved to the Bay, and actually they
And where are you from originally?
I'm from Boston originally.
Okay, there you go.
So we actually all moved around the same time to
And where are
San
you from
Francisco.
originally?
LA.
LA, there we go. LA,
Yeah.
Boston,
And so
New
when-
York,
yes.
New York. Where she's from LA,
I
right?
know.
Steph's from LA. Okay.
Hi.
Yeah, we're a bunch of transplants. Forgive
love
us,
it.
Oakland.
I know.
I know.
We can't even.
But we try to make
got
it-
so much love, and we've been here for so
Exactly.
long.
I think at a
Taking
certain
up
point you have to
residence.
get that you have a card, right? Like your Oakland card. At a certain point, your Bay
Yeah.
Area card hits in about like year 15.
I've been here more than 15.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you start remember venues that used to be that no
like
longer
the
are.
Justice League. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Storyville.
That's what I'm saying.
That's right.
Last Day Saloon.
Last Day Saloon.
See, I know nothing about any
Hey.
of this. I'm very. I moved out here. No, I moved out here in 2003 the first time, right? And I never came to Oakland because everybody in my circle at the time was
in-
like, Oakland's like hell, and you should never go. And it was like,
Yeah.
so it wasn't until like I moved back again permanently, like in 2012, 2013, that I started coming to Oakland. I was like, yo, this is like the lost city of Atlantis. Like where have all, you know what I'm saying? Where all the POC people that I've been missing and feeling awkward not having around me are now here, and they all rap and they all do artistry stuff and education stuff and everything that I was tapped into. So I just appreciate Oakland
Did you
on that
question
level.
who was telling you not to roll through there?
My ex-wife. That's a whole different conversation. Yeah, you know what I mean? But yeah.
I remember my friend from New York was visiting here, and I was living in San Francisco. It must have been 2009 or something, and she was like, Caitlin, can you please just show me some healthy black community? Like, what is San Francisco?
Right.
And I was like, let's go to Oakland. Let's go.
Exactly.
So I was like,
Exactly.
Right. Okay,
So,
but the origin story.
yeah, origin story.
oh,
Caitlin was working for the Academy.
that's the Grammys.
Okay,
Yes.
there we go. See?
yeah.
God damn.
Come on. And I was producing an event, and I was like, and Alphabet Rockers had already been like percolating. Right?
Okay.
And so I was like, I gotta get the Felonious guys involved with Alphabet Rockers. And I was like, hey, so y'all wanna come do this Grammys event? And they were like, yes, let's do it. So they came out and blew that event out of the water.
Okay.
And then I was like, who wants to get down with Alphabet Rockers? And Tommy was like, I'll do it. I think Tommy was about to be born.
Yeah, he was,
So-
Lil
he
T.
hadn't even
Lil
been
T.
born yet. I was like, yeah, let's do some kids.
Yeah, there you were. We were at the
There you
like
go.
Leland Avenue doing street fairs together. Whole Foods, San Francisco. We would do anything
Wow.
to present this work.
Nice.
In the produce section, just
Why not? You know how it is. I mean,
Paying dues.
you can sell them out of your trunk. or
Paying
you can-
dues, exactly.
Yeah,
Hey,
exactly.
know
when
what I'm
I
saying?
started throwing parties, you were performing, and we were in this dive bar that was like a transvestite,
Yeah.
dive bar on Polk Street.
That's the
yeah.
spot.
You know, we were
just
just
gonna-
trying to,
Just
Yeah.
young kids trying to make
some,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, get it.
You know what I'm
get
saying?
it
I
cracking.
literally have just transitioned out of the dive bar scene. So I'm just like,
But you know what? If you don't know what that's about, then when you come back down and you're like, can I please perform here again?
yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Because it's the same thing. It's just with your children's music. You know, it might be let's start at the library and forget the library. But no, the librarians like are so. Like we ended up finding out, especially when our music got real, we could tell when we walked in the door of a library if somebody was about that life.
Right.
So like we were in San Francisco last year, and the librarian was like honoring the native land with us, and then was like, here's what we're about to do in literacy around racial literacy in our community. And we were like, we're just here to reflect you.
Yeah.
Versus the other way around. So
Exactly.
like now it's not like, oh, let's bypass the library and go perform at the Paramount. It's like we want to be in the community that's already about what it is.
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly. Yeah, totally.
You know, you can put the spotlights on Alphabet Rockers, but when you do, it better be because it's in your heart.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. And that's incredible. That was 12 years ago.
yeah.
And you guys now.
Yeah.
So
Two
now.
nominations and two babies.
I know.
That's what I'm trying
two
to be
babies,
like.
two
Whoa.
Grammy nominations later. You guys are still out here doing
Yeah.
it, just getting busy.
I keep hearing the Zoo Labs reference.
Yes.
You know, you mentioned it a few times. I want to know more about the residency and what Zoo Labs is all about.
Word.
Well, like, how did you what made you guys say, hey, okay, we need to be we need to do this to take it to the next level? Like, what was the conversation or the catalyst to bring it to that point?
It was what was currently happening. It was an action that we needed to take because we hit a wall.
Right,
know?
right, right.
Now we knew that we could do what we have always done and climb that wall, or we could figure out how to get a sledgehammer.
There you go.
Or a vault.
Exactly. And then for those who don't know, Zoo Labs is a music accelerator program. They take in residencies. They provide you with resources and connections and all of that, and just kind of give you strategy. You know what I'm saying?
In a
And
nutshell, bro, it's like they make you, they give you the freedom and the vocabulary and the faculty.
Faculty.
To really transfer your mindset from starving artist to startup. Like they really,
and they also give you a dope ass studio, so now you're not recording in your kitchen,
man.
right?
So you're not a starving. You're not. You lose that notion of being a starving artist, and you really feel like you're an entrepreneur.
And we go from like co-stars to business partners.
Yeah,
So
we
suddenly
go.
like, let's analyze the financials together. And you know, I remember when we started, it was like I was doing all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And then it was like, no, let's do it together so we can use our brilliance together. And we can build what that is as we go. You don't need to have a business degree.
Right.
You don't need to have already done it a million times. You just need the opportunity to dialogue on it. I
Exactly.
think. And so how much more fun is it now when we look at marketing? It's not like, let's try to sell CDs. It's like, let's try to share our story.
Totally.
And so that's transformed how we talk about everything. And it's also like, who's our audience? What do they want from us? Not what do we want to put on them?
Exactly.
It's like, it's a dialogue, everything.
And now tell me, were you doing education work before Alphabet Rockers? Were you like in classes and
Yeah,
doing
with
all of that?
Felonious, we had a program that we were trying to jump off that we would all go into a school in one day.
Okay.
And teach all 5 elements in like 5 different classes, and then come
Dope.
and share what we would do at the end of the day with everybody. Like we did how our bass player would go and do graffiti with the kids. Carlos and I would go do beatboxing.
Nice.
Keith would go do some music stuff with them and singing and and then so Dan would be rapping, and so we put all that stuff together.
Dope.
And and tried to put that program, and then we started doing it in duos and trios and all that stuff. So as a teaching artist, since '98, just been kind of getting down, and that's why it was another reason why we should, why we got together.
So you were on the Grammy board, but let's speak to your artistry prior to Alphabet Rockers. Like,
Sure,
what was your path to artistry? What were you working on prior to that?
Yeah, I did like a lot of kind of wild theater in San Francisco. It was the day where you could find some really out there plays.
Okay.
And I would be on those. And then also singing and performing, writing music. I had a wedding band for like 10 years.
Okay.
And so that's how I actually financed our first album, first 2 or 3
Because the wedding
albums.
money is real.
It is. People
the
put the
wedding
money down.
is real,
And,
especially if you could afford a wedding at this point in society, in it's Bay Area. Like,
It's a done
you
deal.
know,
But it's also like singing in weddings when you get to choose your repertoire. And we were actually talking about this because he's going to do a Jazz Mafia show tomorrow. What day is it? Tonight.
It's
Okay, there you
Friday,
go.
yeah.
And it's like, there's such diverse music that you have to learn.
Right.
So you actually listen to music in a different way, which changes the way you write
Absolutely,
music. Because then you're
100%.
like, oh, I see that person's like, what's in their kit? And like, can I bring that into this song? And so,
And that Jazz Mafia show, that's at Soil Dough? Is that
Nah.
Big Ten, or is it another show?
It's another joint.
They'll be everywhere,
Side
Jazz
joint.
Mafia.
Shout out to Jazz Mafia,
Yeah.
Adam, and all of those
Yeah,
guys.
Adobe,
Like,
how
you know
A
what I mean?
million ways.
Yeah. So let's get into some music. I want to get back more into what you guys are currently working and all that, but we want to get into some music as well. Brent, vinyl archaeologist, Dreamville Steph in the building, TrueSchool.com for all your Bay Area events every weekend, every week, all of that stuff. You want to know what's popping, you go to TrueSchool.com. You find out what's popping, free ticket giveaways, all of those things. Just type in your email and we got you. TrueSchoolTV.com or TrueSchoolTV.com is the one-stop shop for all your hip-hop video content, music videos, interviews, blogs, podcasts, all of that stuff. You can check it out one place only, TrueSchoolTV.com. What do you got, Ren?
This one is the one that I like from your new album.
Ooh.
My favorite is Live Your Life.
Oh.
Here we go.
I just gotta be myself. It's my body and it's mine to live in. I don't wanna have to toughen up or build a thicker skin. Don't fight with me about who I am. Fight with me, Come on. For who I am, see me now, seeing how this is real. Right now, but I fade the doubt. Just believe in me, I'll be, and then you see. You hear me, then don't turn me down. Listen up, turn me up. Better run, yeah, we gotta keep up. Time's up, flip it up.
What it takes to live your truth. Be who you are, cause we need you. Body, heart, and mind like humans do. Live your life, cause we need you. 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 We need you.
I'm beautiful, the way I wanna be beautiful. Not what you think is beautiful. Beauty is said to be in the eye, and in my eye, I just behold. Let it be known, it's beautiful. That how I look may change, but see my heart, mind, spirit beautifully remains. Like no one really seems to mind that they don't understand, and still they grind the accent, but they don't trust me. They never will. Trust me. I've been all the way there. Trust me. It'll get better. Trust me. It'll get better.
It takes to live your truth. Be who you are, cause we need you. Body, heart, and mind like humans do. Live your life, cause we need you. We need you. We need you. Live your life. We need you. We need you. We need you. Live your life. We need you. Your life.
Somebody protect me, so I know that you get me. Just ride with me. See, just shine and see. You'll see there is no normalcy. Like you thought you see. See it back against the wall, that's me. I'ma be here, just lean on me. I got you, I am you, and you, I believe. I won't leave.
What it takes to live your truth. Be who you are, cause we need you. Body, heart, and mind like humans do. Live your life, cause we need you. We need you. We need you. Live your life. We need you. Live your life. We need you. Live your life. We need you. Your life.
I deserve the respect, love, and happiness.
Live your life.
I deserve the respect, love, and happiness.
So yeah, that's a new one.
Sure is.
Yeah.
Live
and
your life.
I think you were rocking that with us when we debuted it, right? At Oakland's Art and Soul.
Uh huh. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
With the kids.
Yes.
Yeah. And you
Not
know
the
what?
kiddos.
Speaking of just real quick, shout out to Jazz Mafia. That was Shannon Ivanyuk
Okay.
from Jazz Mafia playing the violin.
Nice. Who did the beat?
Who did the
Our
beat?
folks from Track or Die in Nashville.
Nice.
Track or Die in Nashville. Yeah.
Okay.
Dope.
Street
Got it.
Symphony is the lead producer there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Track or Die is a group of folks.
Nice.
that are just making.
Yeah,
magic.
collectives.
Yes.
Collectives. I love
Yeah.
it. I love collectives.
So it's modern, you know, like you know, those are some hard
That's what I
beats,
was
the
gonna
melody.
say. Like, what I
the
appreciate
hook.
the most is that it's so accessible. Like, you know what I'm saying? When you typically think about like children's music, when you think about children's hip hop, often you get like this idea in your head of something kind of like cheesy, whatever the case is. Like, this is just something that is specifically geared towards young people, but has a relevancy, is a current sound. It's dope. As an MC, you're barring out still. You know what I'm saying? You're bringing up really important themes that kids need to be acquiesced to and understand and like learn and appreciate. So that's like that's off the rip. That's one thing that I
Nice.
hear in the music. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That you guys aren't really compromising too much of your own selves as adults to try to do kids work. You're not code switching, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? You're in your most authentic self doing this work still, and it's like that's really inspirational in and of itself.
When we wrote that, we had one of our family in the room who's trans.
Okay.
And he was sitting with us, and he's a rapper, you know. And I was like, "What do you want to say to 5-year-old you?" So some of the lyrics in there are straight from his mouth about what he wanted to hear as a kid, you know.
Like, I'm beautiful, that beautiful part. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
Where I say I'm beautiful, not what your eyes say. Is
Right.
beautiful, you know?
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
And that line about feeling your your back against the wall.
Yeah.
That's me holding you up. So when we perform this, little Tommy, just fierce MC, right? 11 years old when he was singing that. And we just hold him up. And that's what it should feel like for whoever these young folks are, whoever we are as humans.
Totally.
You got to feel like people have got your back, like really.
Truly.
Especially when they're coming for us.
Yeah, so I mean, support is definitely needed. Like, you know what I'm saying? I always say that hip hop is a vehicle for community. Community
Yes.
is created through this this creative medium, this creative form of expression, and all of that. And if nothing else, it's for us to at least hold each other. Say I got you, like, you know what I'm saying, and I got you creatively, I got you personally, like we're together in this, and we're joining together, linked by the music, linked by these common themes and all of that. How long did it take for your first album when you guys were working on your first album? How long was that? What was that process like? Like
Take forever, you know, because
Right.
we were doing it in between getting to know
Okay.
each other.
Right.
As you know how like when you're writing with somebody or you're like working all the jobs you work.
Yeah.
But now we can write a song in like an hour. Or we can.
You refined
bake
your like
something.
format and whatever the case.
Yeah, and we're in the same pulse. So you can put something on us if you want to.
Synchronicity.
Yeah, we'll dive in.
Yeah.
How's this album different from your previous album?
From Rise Shine Woke?
Yeah.
That's a good
It's-
question.
It's the next step, because when we did Rise Shine Woke, we felt like some of the stuff we were talking about was risky, was being like hella risky.
Like what?
With talking about skin color and talking about really power and like as in systems, systems of power, and talking about really just things like the wall that had been potentially starting to be built, and the Muslim ban that was happening, and all of these things that like kids are like, I don't want to talk about, or parents are like, I don't want to talk to my kids about this stuff. All of that stuff that they were scared to talk to them about, police brutality, all of that. We decided we were gonna try to make music to do that, and that was that last album, the previous album, Rise Shine Woke, and that's why we called it Rise Shine #Woke.
Yeah, like wake up.
Like wake up, you know what I mean? And it was a little bit before woke became a dumb word to say. You know what I mean? Because like people would say they're woke now, you're like, okay.
Well, that's because
It almost has like a stereotypical connotation to it,
well,
right?
it's like
Yeah.
we gave people permission to have conversations that the black community was already having with their kids.
Right.
And I can't speak from other cultural backgrounds because people came to us and said, we need more help. We don't know how to talk to our kids about what's happening to black folks in our community. So
Right.
we, in Denver, Colorado, like we had a community of families of color that was like, we need to have these conversations. How do we do it? And so that's like what the woke part is. And then when people want a badge for it, my people, white people, then that's, you know, we already know what that is. That's
Right.
something else. Like,
So,
okay,
yeah,
go,
we
keep going.
We even tackled white supremacy a little bit through
But
some of those lyrics.
I think
Exactly.
this album here is for folks who are so ready to love and step up and be without any reward other than what love is, which is like the deepest, you know, way to love your family and your community. So that's
when
what this is.
That's when you
It's
move from
unapologetic.
ally. We were looking for the allies with the last album.
Right.
With this album, it's the next step. So it's like, no, we need accomplices, and we need people that are going to be co-conspirators. And
There we go.
And with radical love is how we're going to do that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm leaving this office floating. That's, I mean,
So like fresh things would happen, like where we learn about how to ask for one another's pronouns, right? And now I feel like in the same way.
Yeah, this is how
wokeness-
you introduce every show.
Yeah, we say our names, our pronouns, what land we're on, and we're stepping with this. You know, we're also evolving. So we're not trying to say, oh, be us. We're just saying this is what we feel is what we want to offer at this moment. And then we get folks like producers on the album who are, you know, straight from hip hop culture who are like, I'm like, hey, what's your pronouns? Thanks for asking. I never been asked that before. And so what is that in, like, what evolution is there also for how you are received, right?
right. It's,
Like-
it's normalizing a new level of compassion
And
empathy
that's
and all of those
the
things.
new
And-
trend. You know, people are also putting their signatures on their email, this is
Right.
my
Right.
gender pronouns and stuff like that. So you guys are like pushing that.
Yeah,
That's
for
what
sure.
I mean. It's like when I say people are saying they're woke, then you're not. Actually, like,
Yeah.
if you're showing that you're woke, then
It's a path to be
that's
walked and not talked
yeah,
about, right? You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? Like,
And pronouns are like a part of it, but what we learn is like, you know, sometimes folks are like, make it a safe space for me to even share that. And sometimes we don't even need each other's pronouns, just talk. right? And love each other and listen and don't make assumptions. But if you're really not making assumptions, that's actually some deep stuff, because then you're not going to assume, oh, you know, white lady from Tiffany's or whatever. You know, which I don't mind. You can assume everything about me. That's fine.
I'm just saying, it's Tiffany Blue. It's
Tiffany Blue.
So a lot of your content just comes from a lot of the feedback that you get from other folks. Like,
and there's a need. I think there's a real big need. I think you guys tapped into a need, and I think that's you guys are proving that time and again when you have people email you from Denver and say, hey, we need you guys here.
Right.
And you guys are, you know, doing shows and assemblies in like either the whitest neighborhoods ever, or like, you know what I'm saying, the hood, or whatever the case is. Like it's gonna run the spectrum. I think humanity in general is needed across the board.
and these kids react. They totally respond. I'm just like,
Yeah, you've been in like every community with us too, Ren. It's crazy.
Yeah, and it's the response is just amazing. Like, and there's so many different instances of it. And if you're like, because we're so comfortable with this, we're able to actually see it happening. And we're not just running a show. We're not just trying to remember our lines and trying to figure out what song is next and trying to do all like, it's a real experience, which is really dope.
And the youth on the album, Kali De Jesus, and a bunch of them are actually next door.
Yeah, shout out some of the youth that are featured on the albums.
Fleming,
Maya Fleming, Tommy the Third, Kali De Jesus, and Lily Ellis.
These youngsters are brilliant, and we already knew that because we've been rocking with them for a long time. But
And how did you meet them?
I would say, you know, how do you really build a crew for real? Because, you know, there's a lot of young people in our lives, but some just stick, and like they're our kids. They're like, it's almost inseparable. Lily we met because she had done a show at the Freight and killed it at age 8. So we recruited her to sing with us on Rise, Shine, Woke. And then it was actually really the album release party for Rise, Shine, Woke. We were like, let's put on like we wanted to do the full on like top-down album play, you know, just let's make it really beautiful in that way, interludes, everything. And this young dancer Maya from Destiny Arts was a protege of Samara Atkins.
Shout out to Destiny Arts.
Yes. And Samara, she was like, you've got to know this young person, this is my mini-me. She came through, learned all the moves, and then was a part of the crew. And now we find out she's a singer. Killer singer.
And y'all do choreography and everything.
Killer rapper. Yeah. And now you can take Kali and Tommy.
Sure, yeah. Tommy has actually informed some of our music in the past. Really, when I was one of the parents that was having this conversation about race with him, because he's black and he's Mexican. And so he was already in preschool hearing the N-word, kindergarten. He was told he wasn't black or Mexican, or they didn't like black people and all these things. And so we were trying to actually figure some of that out for him. And Kali happens to be his best friend, and they knew each other since kindergarten. So when they did their first talent show in kindergarten, they did Run DMC. They did a Run DMC song. They were like, man, going back and forth with the Run DMC joint. And then in the first grade, they were like, let's write a rap. We want to write a rap. And I was like, all right, I'll help you. I facilitated them doing this little rap. And then like every year they wanted to do something.
Wasn't it To Change the World? We had this song and they wrote a rap for it. And then we're like, you guys got to start performing that with us.
So.
Yeah.
And
so I was getting to that one.
Oh yeah.
Because the second grade was when I wrote that one for them, and they did it and changed the world. But that rap from that, we're like, that's got to go on the album.
Oh right. Wow.
Yeah, we're like, that rap has to go on the album, and so they started like really getting into it, and they were like, we want to do more. And all of them, I think it was a secret meeting that these kids had. They just came back and were like, yo, this is ours now.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, so they can tour kind of without us, but we want to be there and support them. And that's kind of the role of where Alphabet Rockers is as a crew, is like, you know, Tommy says it best about amplifying your voice. Because we've already had this brilliant experience of being heard, you know, and as a singer and getting on a Grammy ballot, you know, it's amazing.
Yeah.
But who needs to be heard in the children's music space? It's not me, for sure. It is Tommy, you know. I mean, I have a voice as like a white woman who's not afraid to talk about whiteness, but we don't need to listen to that every day, right? Some people do. But like, who else needs to be heard? I want to hear a non-binary singer rock their life and have some kid in Louisiana say, that's me too. And I might not tell anybody for a little while, but I know that person loves me.
Yeah. Right. And like, we also want to have someone that is queer wail their ass off on a song that has nothing to do with them being queer.
Say that.
I'm a singer.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna sing the hell out of this
And
song.
that, yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Also
Recognize
what-
me for that before
Yeah,
anything
before
else, before
anything
you
else.
see anything else.
That's right.
So we've talked about how like the education world has really embraced you guys. You know what I'm saying? You guys being educated, you guys being parents, all of those things. What is your experience in terms of like the hip hop world in general, the music industry in particular, embracing your message and your narrative, your brand? Like what's been your experience with that?
That's great. Man, we presented it to some of the like OG hip hop management companies, and they were like, "This is so good," and we don't know what to do with it because there's not the same financial systems to promote children's music
Right.
in the way, like, it's just a different whole, you know, it's like a different currency actually.
Right.
So
Anyone
we got a
that
lot of
we-
respect. Like, I remember I was backstage at Jimmy Fallon, and I got the nod. Like, I know Alphabet Rockers. You know, it's like,
Dope.
Yeah, there we go. That was a flex, but it was okay.
hey,
That was cool.
That's awesome.
Was that a look? See, Steph is over here
Hey.
laughing because she knows, like, yo, she just flexed right now. Did she just say backstage at Jimmy Fallon right now? Yeah, a little bit, just a little blip, little blip. A little bit, but see, yeah, that's you
Yeah.
know. So
But I
people
mean, also-
recognize, but they don't, it's like almost like a guilty pleasure to the opposite spectrum,
Yeah,
right? Like
absolutely.
you know, be like hella woke people, like they still like the ratchet shit, and that's their guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
Right? In this case, it's like the ratchet people really like this Alphabet Rocker stuff, and they don't want to say it.
That's kinda crazy. That's like you onto something. 'Cause,
Exactly.
Like, we ran into a few people at Zoo Labs that, you know, questionable content.
Right.
You know, and they were always like, yo, your shit is like, you know,
Yeah.
like they're saying all these things and then they come over to us and they like, oh, I've always wanted to
Yeah,
do
talk
this
to you.
and I got kids and let's collab. We wound up actually collaborating with somebody from
Right.
like, that side of the studio.
There we go.
And now you know, made a song for one of our tracks or made a track for one of our songs.
See, that's dope. That
Yeah,
you know.
but also like most of the entities that we try to partner with in the hip hop world, in the like television, toys, anything, like Hasbro's like, you're so dope. We don't know what to do.
We're gonna see like Alphabet Rockers action
Hasbro
figures.
doesn't know what to do with you. They
Yeah,
got
that's what I'm
Death
saying.
Row.
They got
don't
Death Row. They,
I know.
they know what to do with Snoop Dogg's
They
catalog.
saw.
They should
Right.
definitely know what to do with you guys.
Yeah,
Right.
they don't know anything about what we are doing, so they can't figure out how to steal it.
Right. Yeah.
There you
Ooh.
go.
see, like, you know, this you can
That's
make
true.
you can make the woke, you know, puppets. I think that's about it.
Yeah. You can
So
make
here's
the
a
whole
woke
puppets.
puppet.
Do you guys get compared, and you can let me know if this is a fair or unfair comparison, or if it's been a comparison that you've received in the past with like platforms like Yo Gabba Gabba and other things? Like, is that
Sure.
something that you guys
Choo Choo
welcome?
Soul. Big
You know what I'm
shout
saying?
out.
Yeah, we love it because anyone who's trying to create something magical for young people has a creativity that we totally are in tune with.
Totally.
And so what we do is actually we have bigger conversations with folks because oftentimes it's a lot of white folks making these kind of content. Like, let's
Right.
talk about where do our biases come in, even if we are creating something from the purest place in our heart. Like, that's may not be enough. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So how can you get more diverse writers in the room? How can you check yourself before you show up in a space to create a lens that you can actually see people other than yourself?
Yeah, and one of your co-collaborators is Genevieve from
Yes.
Choo Choo Soul. So
Yes.
has she given you some game?
Oh my goodness, we wrote like so many songs with her. She just had a baby
Nice.
this week.
Shout out to
And
Genevieve.
all types
love
of
you.
babies is happening. Like,
I know, it's
and they're all
amazing.
like, you're all Sagittariuses. Are
Ah,
you?
that's funny.
Holy cow!
No.
Okay, I was
Yeah,
just gonna say-
no. But I'm like, whoa, I'm a Sag with her baby. No, but yeah, like I think the connection's amazing, and it'll be fascinating. Tommy and I had a 5-year plan to get a TV show, so we got one more year.
Dope.
So
Okay.
I think what's interesting is even in this moment, we know what we're doing is so unique. And so why
Totally.
not have your own market share to create something? Like, we're waiting for the documentary where we can tell the story of Lillian Ellis, who goes from singing in a, you know, folk music club to leading in the Senate, talking to senators about freeing kids from detention.
Yeah.
You
That's-
Wow.
Wow. But what's so
And
crazy
you also
is that-
had the podcast.
Yeah, we have a podcast called So Get Me. We produced 5 episodes. Each of them features kids talking about identity and politics, essentially. I mean,
Wow.
because identity is politics.
Exactly.
It
So-
centers around one of the songs from the previous album. each
Yeah.
episode.
So the TV show will be kind of like an extension of the podcast.
That's what I
or-
really think. And I think some people are like, I want y'all to do a cartoon, but
Yeah.
I think that there might be something just real people talking and showing who we are. And like, I think my goal has always been like, can we have an intergenerational experience where you actually see young people respecting adults and actually exchanging? Because a lot of times in TV, it becomes like, hey, dad,
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think TV is rooted in a lot of cultural divides. I think TV
Yeah.
is rooted in a lot of just like speaking to people's echo chambers of their own points of view and all of that stuff. We very rarely see, and this applies to hip hop just as much as every other genre of music or culture. We very rarely see that intergenerational communication, right? If we have shows about young kids, they're only showing young kids, and they're only showing older people in like a very demeaning way, and then the vice versa. Like when young kids are, so we're never
And
seeing
they're always trying to solve the problem all in one episode.
Yeah, that too. That, you know what I'm saying? That too. But
Yeah.
you're never seeing like this cohesion between like younger people and older people, and they having good positive relationships
Yeah.
where they're able to not. It's not top down education. It's like cross boundary, cross generational. My 13-year-old son teaches me just as much as I think I teach him, and my younger one teach. Like
We're both evolving.
Exactly, and I think that's a beautiful thing. We don't have that much time left because I know they're gonna knock on our door and like give us a
not
mean
here
mug.
yet.
Okay. But
We
even
can
then,
keep-
like I
let's
know
keep
that he
rolling.
quietly curses us out every time he like has to
Nah,
wait there.
he's good, he's
You know what I'm saying? But no, I mean we have some topics here. I don't really want to talk about them because I want to talk to you guys. But this first topic that we have here, I think applies a little bit to kind of what you guys do already. Like so streaming and these streaming platforms, and we were just talking about streaming platforms in general. You have Disney now, you have Netflix, you have all these, and you
True
guys are
School
talking about,
TV.
you know what I'm saying? True School TV, right?
So when you're ready to launch your TV show, we could host it on True School TV. It's,
do you got the
fresh.
bag though? Is what they're asking.
no,
What's the budget looking like?
I'll give you a free.
Access. Come on, that costs money too.
You know what I'm saying? But this news came out. Music streamers are debating what pop rap is thanks to Spotify's Wrapped campaign. So for those who don't know, Spotify for the last maybe 2 or 3 years has been doing these Wrapped campaigns where they're telling their consumers, the people who are subscribers, what they've been listening to over
What their
how
favorites
many
are.
hours. You know what I'm saying? And they're doing the same for artists. Artists are being, they're being told exactly how many streams you've had and what country you've been playing in and all of these different things. But I guess the whole conversation starts with, because they've been doing these wrap ups, it's been kind of speaking to creating different genres of music, and they're now creating a category called pop rap, as opposed to like just regular hip hop or like when you guys are your music, I'm sure is streamed on Spotify. What category is it placed in? Is it children's?
It's children's, yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's not hip hop. That's crazy to me.
Yeah,
Is it
you're
like
not
there's no
alone.
crossing? There's like
You can't really.
Can't.
what?
Yeah, they choose one for you. If you submit your music as children's and as hip hop and as world, they choose it for you. They go,
Wow.
yeah, and so they choose it for you.
Algorithms. The town is lit. The town is lit. The town is lit. That's how we know.
I thought that was me playing that.
So damn. So that to me is kind of unfortunate, because if people are looking for hip hop,
Right.
if they're looking for children age appropriate hip hop, and they're typing it in hip hop rap, they're
yeah.
not finding you guys.
We just had this with the licensor this week, who was like, they're looking for something that sounds, and I guess it's like interesting to hear it back. Pop rap wasn't the words they used.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, here's like 6 songs from our catalog that would fit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of hidden. Maybe that's where we're gonna head though. But pop rap sounds like to me.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
It's rap is the antithesis of pop music. Like
So now
it's-
that you got the Grammy nod, though, isn't it, what I heard is when you get the nominated for a Grammy, now it's go time.
Yeah, it is.
You need to be doing your press
Yeah.
runs and all that. What are you guys up to?
All of that. On top of living our lives, on top of still hitting up conferences that we need to hit up, New York and
New Orleans.
New Orleans next week.
What kind of conferences?
We're talking to all the folks who are trying to present art to the world and letting them know, like, this is what your families need.
like arts education.
Like at like the big, venues, like what are the ones here? Like Yerba Buena would be one.
Yep.
Like when you bring family audiences together, like bring this kind of content to them and know, like we're trying to align ourselves with social justice folks so that when we know our business partners are about the same business. Because when
Right.
we're talking about exchanging money, we also need to know where it's coming from and going, and like who's.
So in terms of
sharing the
business,
language,
let's
you know what I
speak
mean?
about that. That's a great segue. So in terms of business, what business do you consider you guys in? Are you in the music business? Are you in the education business? Are you in the children's business? What?
Entertainment.
Entertainment?
Yeah.
Okay.
Entertainment.
Hasbro.
And then I think it's also, I think it's like culture. We're like culture makers. So because
that
if you
again.
don't check your cultures, well then we wouldn't be in the same room together, right?
Right.
And I would go on reading books that don't even show my kids people who look like them. I'm in a mixed heritage family. So, you know, we're going to have to change what children's culture looks like. I need to look out so that my school supports your son, you know, that there's books that look like your kids. Because
Exactly.
if our kids don't see and hear voices of themselves, then they're erased from the system.
Absolutely.
entirely.
Representation
So-
is key. Like I think it goes such a far way, or such a long way rather, when it
But
comes
yeah,
to
voting
education.
opens on Monday, so folks who know folks in the academy, look
Y'all need
up
to get me on the Grammy board and
Best-
stop playing with me.
Best
You on the
children's
Grammy board,
album.
Tommy?
I'm not on the board.
Because I know we
but
need
I'm a
two
member.
people. So you my homegirl now. We like best
Yeah,
friends.
let's go.
Let's get it.
I'm about to
I
recommend
know other
you.
two. I'm gonna start a group chat with everybody I know on the Grammy board. We got
That's
y'all,
right.
If you
y'all
need
got
a
a campaign to get me
recommendation,
on
holla.
this shit. Yeah, for sure.
All right, so yeah, thank again Alphabet Rockers
Thanks.
for rolling through.
Where can people
Love
find
y'all.
you? Where can people contact you? Where can people offer you all of their glad tidings and business deals?
Yep.
Alphabet Rockers, everything.
one word on all the socials.
Yeah.
And we're gonna be flying our folks from the album down to LA. So if you want some holiday giving, come give it by Intersection for the Arts in San Francisco. That's our fiscal sponsor, and we could use any funds you can donate because we just want to take care of people. In order for the systems to change, folks who don't have access to resource need resource. So
Absolutely.
that's what we're about to do.
Absolutely. Once again, Alphabet Rockers, thank you guys so much for coming through. Much appreciated. Best of luck to everything that you guys are doing. You know what I'm saying? Blessings, blessings upon blessings. It's First Friday, so Oakland is lit tonight.
Yep.
All types of events.
Come out to the layover tonight.
There we go.
I'm gonna be spinning with Vin Rock.
Classic vibes.
Classic.
Yeah. I'm gonna also be spinning for Rainforest Action Network's holiday party right before that. So
Typical Ren night.
you know,
Exactly. I know
hustling.
He gets busy out here in these streets.
Hey man, you still doing the Wednesdays at the joint?
No. We're not doing Wednesdays. We're still
Yeah.
doing Sundays in San Francisco.
doing Sundays in San
ROTC,
Francisco.
Return to the Cypher every Sunday night.
Nice.
The longest running live hip hop thing going on in San Francisco. Live MCs, DJ Kevy Kev in the mix, the Get Down Band. Act like
And
you
special
know.
guests, you guys just had Rozelle. So
We just had
people
Razel
need to
pull
check
up.
it out.
Yeah, people need to come through because you never know who's gonna show up. RZA came through on the Humble. You know what I'm saying? We didn't know who showed. Like everybody just comes up and shows up and shows out, and it's a great vibe. I'm laying low today. I'm low this weekend. Like,
Come
in general.
through.
Huh?
Layover.
I got songs to record. I'm in album making mode. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Okay.
What you call it? You know, like Lil MC, a artist I just released an album today. Check that out. It's called Punisher Volume 1. All tracks produced by yours truly. It's a 5-song EP that comes with a comic book. You know what I'm saying? So it's lit.
Yeah.
So check that out. But other than that, tomorrow, what's going on tomorrow?
I'm gonna go live stream Chuck
Oh,
D
there's-
at Merritt College.
Oh, ooh, that's a
The hip hop show in Berkeley.
yeah. There's a hip hop show.
Oh,
in Brooklyn.
John.
No, with
Oh,
with
yeah. I'm
Infinite
doing Carlos Infinite is doing the
The
Telltale Heart.
the Telltale Heart. When,
I'm
that's
gonna go
is that
tomorrow.
tomorrow?
Yeah.
I'm
last
going.
Night. It goes
It's
to
sold
I'm
out
getting my
tonight.
tickets.
Friday, Saturday,
Oh.
this weekend and next weekend.
Oh yeah,
I'm
shout
gonna
out
be
to
there.
MC Infinite and everything he's doing. He just put out a project too. I mean, come on, y'all.
Yeah, that EP
Come
is
on
dope.
now, like it's crazy. It's crazy. But we out of here.
it's true.
TrueSchool.com for all your events. TrueSchoolTV.com for all your hip hop video content. Let's get up out of here. Ren the Vinyl Archaeologist, Unlearn the World, Dreamville Steph. Follow
Catch
us
us
on
next
Instagram.
Friday.
You know what I mean? You know the vibes. We out of here.
Peace.